Hello there. Welcome back. This is Mark 2. This is a Drifter series that I've been doing. Has no name and no real regularity. It comes out whenever something happens that needs to be talked about. Drifter is currently in beta. It's available from Celsius Game Studios. You can find their link in the description, or you can Google them or whatever. They're out there. And beyond that, I'm getting a text message on my phone, which is relevant because today is Thursday, May the 15th, and I would ordinarily be at work right now. I'm not because I live in San Diego, which is under a state of emergency right now because of wildfires. I went to work and got a. Everybody was saying we're closed. We're going home. We got to go home. They shut down our whole. I work in a campus with 8 buildings. We have 8 buildings. They closed the whole campus. There aren't any fires near where I work or where I live, so I'm fine, at least for the moment. I did have to go buy a fairly large fire, but it didn't really impact my travel. So everything's fine as far as that goes, and it gives me today. And I wasn't expecting to be able to do this until the weekend, but here we are on Thursday at home, and it's fine. So. They came out just the other day with the long-awaited modules, the 0.5.2 update, and you get your modules from your ship dealer, as you might expect, in the ship equipment area. Let's see what this particular dealer, I'm in the UJUS system, and let's see, they would be down here. Now see, there's no modules available here in UJUS, but I have modules. I bought them when they came out because I couldn't wait. So, and here's what we have. This is not my main system, so that's the only ship I have here in UJUS. And if you get your modules, you'll find them here in the module area. There are 3 modules currently available. There are more on the way, but right now what you got is this one, a hull repair unit. It costs somewhere in the 200K range, less than 300K, I'm pretty sure. I have not used this one. Today we will be using this one maybe for the first time if I can manage to take some hull damage. Long-range scanner, which I have used. This one, I believe this was the inexpensive one at 40K or something like that. I don't remember exactly. And then the cargo scoop, which I used briefly and will use that again. That helps you pick stuff up that's drifting about, and we'll use that as well. Maybe we can get a comparison if there's enough stuff drifting about. So we'll try that out. And anyway, that's where they are. That's, you load them in the same way you would any other part by selecting, and I don't have anything here to put in there, but you would then select it, or you could remove it. There, this is how we do it. Like that, okay, and then you equip it. There you go. Alright, now, I don't have anything to do in this system. I'm doing an experiment right now involving, I took a whole bunch of missions because they were piling up. It seems like missions just build up if you hang out in the same system for a long time. So I decided to take all of them. And I do have a mission here in UJUS. Well, that might be a bug. Anyway, it only go, the wheel doesn't kind of work the way I hope it does. Let's see here, and I believe, is it that one? Nope. That one. Yes. Here we're supposed to. This is a rogue replicant, which says destroy pirate, and it also says bioengineered android. It's termination. So we're going to have to kill that guy. But ordinarily the problem here, but I've been doing this experiment, and for some reason the mission thing doesn't show up on the map. It doesn't give you your mission thing. Now you should be able to go in here and select, and it should automatically select one that's in your system. And I went through all the rogue replicants in the list of missions that I have, and none of them showed my mission point here. and I believe it was the second one. So let's just jump outside the ship and see if it shows up out there. Oh, there's other thing. The other thing is we're also having manual landing. You can do manual landing. I don't think you're required to do manual landing, but you can. So if you want to, for some reason. I don't know if there's any benefit in doing a manual landing or docking, as the case may be. So let's see here. Does anyone see a no, it's not here. I don't see it, and I'm pretty sure that's the one. It's kind of hard to tell the way the interface is set up now if you've picked the right mission from that drop down. But I've had this problem, and I did report it, and I've learned a lot more about that drop down list in the system map. So anyway, we're in touch on that, and then maybe that'll be addressed at some point. So anyway, what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and stop the recording for the moment, and I'll see in about 1 second in a system where I can see where my objective is, and then we'll go try out some of these things. Alright, be back in about 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we are in Zaj Fasoy. That's the name of the system. We have a mission here, and you can see we have our mission objective, and it shows up over here, right there, down to the left. Hopefully you can see my cursor. There's me. Here's us. We're all here together. And you can see this thing here. It's a termination required, and this one's working okay. Now here's the thing. We know the mission's out there, so here's how the modules work. See, we have 3 new indicators here now for our 3 modules. Now, in order to open up or start your module working, we got a new control here. It looks like a gear. Okay. Now, there's our 3. The hull repair unit, which is offline, the long-range scanner, offline, and the cargo scoop, which is offline. Now, we don't have any hull damage, so there's little point in turning that on. I'm not going to right now. If you turn on the cargo scoop, you can see it has this little sucky thing. It sucks in stuff from around you, and that'll be useful later. But notice, see there, you see our energy? It takes up energy whenever this thing cycles. So we don't really want to do that all that often, or unless we need to, so let's not. But what we do want to do is our long-range scanner, because we can see the mission objectives out here, but let's turn on our long-range scanner. And you see it's using up a little power too, but now you see little flecks of green showing up around us. But then off in the distance, you see these squares here, green squares. And those things, see how many of them are around. Those things represent at least ships. Now, I'm not sure if they also represent like containers and ore and stuff like that that might be running about. Maybe we will learn that today. So let's head over towards mission objective and all of those things. There's several ships out there. I'm sure most of them are friendly. We only have a single objective for this particular mission, and we'll see what happens with this guy. Like I said, I'm going to attempt to take some hull damage, because I think it would be interesting to see what happens here. Okay. Now those were friendlies. Okay, so as you can see, there's the friendly, and you can see, well, it's kind of tracking after the guy. It takes some time for it to catch up. It doesn't land right on where they are when they're moving across your field of vision. So so that's fine. It's close enough. And here we go. Let's head towards that one. That's most likely the objective over in that direction. Obviously, it doesn't show up planets. But like I say, I'm not sure if it shows up containers. If it does, that would be quite a boon. And maybe we'll be able to figure that out while we're out here on this particular mission. Oh, okay, we're getting close. Let's see, where are we at here? There he is. And there he went. Okay, so good. We found that out. And this one happens to be a kukri. And I'm going to have to get his attention because he doesn't seem to be shooting at me right now. Okay, here we go. Now make note of that. You're not going to see me sitting around letting some guy shoot at me all that often. I'm generally going to have something to say about it. And right now, okay, he's taking down my shield pretty good. And we're going to get some hull damage. And then the plan from that is going to be to zoom away from him for a while so that we can turn on our hull regen module and see how that works out for us. Okay, come on back here. I'm not done with you yet. Come on. Chicken. Alright. Learn how to shoot. Miss it. Okay, there we go. There's some hull damage for us. Okay, now let's run away. Gonna get away from here. We got a good bit of hull damage here. And I just want to put him behind me. We'll come back and find him a little bit later on. Because I want to get enough time so that we can examine this and see how much energy it takes up, because it's going to take some energy to fix our hull damage, I would guess. So this is new. I have not done this yet. And I don't want him to catch up with me, so alright, so here we go. Let's be moving, so at least we have that going for us. And here we go. Okay, turn on the hull repair unit. Okay, it's online. Now, yeah, look at that. It does take up quite a bit, and we got our gold glowiness, and I didn't know about that. That's a surprise for me. Check that out. We're building up our hull. Building up the hull. So we could completely repair the hull, and I think that's probably from a tactical point of view, that's probably what you'd want to do. If you take a lot of damage and you got your hull repair module working, you can head off, get away from the action, and take some time to build up your hull. Now, see, I think what's happening here is even though the hull is fully repaired at this point, it's still taking up energy, so we want to turn that off. I believe that's, oh, it says offline. Okay, well, that's fine. Alright, let's head back over there, and this time he's in for it, because we're going to take him out, and hopefully he's going to drop something so we can demonstrate the scoop. Meanwhile, we can talk about things. There he is. No time to talk about things. Now, I happen to know... Oh, by the way, I'm armed with quad neutron lancers at this time. And dual Mark II missile launchers. And I have, like, hundreds of missiles available, literally. He didn't drop anything. Okay, fine. But it sounds like somebody else might be out here. Oh, nope. Nobody else. Okay. Well, and there's not a... This system doesn't have a... I could always just kill somebody. Yeah, that guy's probably... He's got bad intentions. He disappeared, didn't he? Can't catch him. Okay. But anyway, this is probably how you would use your scan in order to find prey. You can go out there and look for them. Let's see. Let's check something else out, though. We can go in here and look at active missions and see if we really did finish that mission. It says, oh, nope, we're done. We finished it. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do then is not mess around. Let's just head back to that station there. Excuse me. And we can demonstrate the manual landing tactic. We could turn off our long-range scanner if we wanted to. But I won't. You can see how it kind of swirls around up here, indicating its sweep, I guess. And each one of those cycles costs you a little bit of energy, which you get right back. So, not usually a problem. Could be a problem in heavy combat, maybe with certain ship types. Okay, now if we're going to land in here, I've done this like twice. It's not that difficult. You just basically drive into the little thing there. It doesn't have to be lined up or anything. I had bad feelings though about that when I heard they were going to do it, because I used to be an Elite player. I played Elite back in the day. I made Elite on 2 different platforms, and when you first started an Elite campaign, you ended up with you had to do those manually, and you had to match the rotation of your ship to the docking port, and it was really difficult to do, because if you it was you know, it's not like you could just hold down your rotate button. You had to do it right. You had to get the timing right, because if you went in sideways, you'd end up crashing into it, and then they'd blow you up and you'd die, and that was never happy. But it's not like that with Drifter. Drifter's a little more user-friendly, and I think you can still do the automated landing, and I don't really see the benefit, or I don't see how it makes any difference at this point. Maybe they're going to give you extra points for it in the future, or maybe charge you for automated landings or something like that. But at any rate, right now you can do it. Maybe you'll enjoy it. I don't know. What I'm going to do next, though, we've demonstrated scanner, we've demonstrated hull repair, so we still need to demonstrate the scoop. So tell you what, we'll do that in about 1 second. Okay, this isn't exactly what I had in mind, but I went through this system, and there's okay, we got a bounty there, and there is a dot, so I have little to fear, given that I have a hull regeneration system. Right. Okay, so let's see. We know that the container's there. Yeah, it looks like the long-range scanner does track containers. So let's see. Is there just the one? I think so. I think there was just one. I don't think that other guy dropped anything. This one is probably important. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn on our cargo scoop, and we're going to head over here, and I'm going to try and see how far away we can get. I try to make these things with the idea of people who have never played before being able to make some sense out of them. But okay, so there it missed, and there it got sucked in. I think, just in my opinion, I think that's closer than we would ordinarily receive, or we would be able to pick anything up with the usual system. So at this point, I don't need the cargo scoop anymore. Turn him off. And so there you go. We saw our what do we call them? What did we see today? We saw hull repair unit. Works great. Fantastic system. If you're going to do combat, that pretty much eliminates your need to make repair stops while you're doing like big patrol missions and whatnot. Long range scanner, well worth the price. I think that's the cheapest one of them all, and it at least gives you a better idea of where everything is. If you're going to do piracy, you can tell way off. And as we discovered today, it also shows up containers, and presumably it'll also show up ore. I haven't been able to check that yet, but if that's the case, it'll be very useful when you're mining, and if you're just generally you've been in a big patrol mission and you've destroyed 4 or 5 ships and there's containers scattered all over the place. How do you find them? Well, if you get a long-range scanner, you're going to find them. And the cargo scoop is also probably going to be very useful in the same situations, also in mining and in those patrol missions where you have a lot of containers floating around and you need to pick them up expeditiously, and especially mining where you have navigational hazards floating about in the form of asteroids. So anyway, there you go. Those are the new things for 0.5.2. I'm not sure what the next what do we call these things? Episode. Don't know what the next episode is going to be about or when it's going to show up, but hopefully it'll be sometime soon. Not sure what the topic will be. We'll find out. Maybe I'll catch you up on some of the things that I learned as I'm doing this massive mission kind of thing that I'd put on myself. And I'm thinking at some point we should be able to do longer term adventures in this game. I'm not sure. It's going to depend on what features come up. Like for instance, I know when I believe it's for post beta, I believe it's for the 1.x series that they're intending on having player-built colonies and player-built access or player access to planets and things like that. That should be very interesting, and we might be able to build more like adventure and something with more of a storyline in it rather than just showing off the various buttons and things that you can do with your ship. It's all very beautiful, but you know, it doesn't really attract, you know, you're not wondering what's going to happen in the next piece of the adventure. But someday perhaps we'll be able to do that. But meanwhile, we're going to head off into this nebula. And we'll see you next time on the other side of infinity. This is Mark II. See you next time.